What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Phil and Leroy the Judgmental Podcast,
What's up, everybody? This is Phil.
and I'm Leroy. So, what's going on, Phil? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's to you too. Not
No,
much,
thank you.
just chilling.
No black eyed peas.
No, I haven't had
No,
black eyed peas since I was like 10 or something.
no
I don't
chitlins.
I don't eat that. I don't. I
Hog,
never had chitlins.
no hog maws.
I don't eat that shit.
Did you stay up till 12?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, we always stay up till 12. We have a glass of champagne. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But they was doing fireworks, but it was so cloudy you couldn't see nothing.
Fireworks where?
And in this area somewhere, I just kept hearing the sky, and normally we could see them. It's like I guess that's towards the direction of like McDade, where Walmart at somewhere over there or something.
Oh, okay.
Normally you can see them in the sky and you can hear them, but it was so cloudy that you couldn't see them, but you could hear them.
So this is a township thing.
I think so. I'm not sure, but they do it every year. So you know what I mean. I think it's like a community type of thing. Yeah. But I
Okay.
did see somebody at the corner of my block. You know how we have the trolley at the end of my block?
Yes.
They dumbass drove right into the trolley lane. Cause you know how you're supposed to go around the trolley tracks so you don't go in the track. And once
Yes.
you go into the track, that's your ass because it's like a ditch kind of. So your car is stuck. And
Right.
that's the second time since I live here I've seen somebody go in here. It's like you
Drunk.
got three. It's like you got three choices. You can go left, you can go right, or you can go up the middle where the trolley track is at. And they always pick the middle.
Drunk.
Probably, but I saw it was a young girl because I seen and it was a young guy. I don't know if the guy was with her. He was just trying to help her because he was trying to push, and then he was trying to wedge something behind the back tire to try to like get it that ramp to get it up.
Right.
But I said, oh, they done. You know what I mean? And they was there for a little while, and the cops came out, and I seen a fire truck, and everybody was out there trying to get it.
Well, today we got the Philadelphia Eagles playing the Washington football team. I want to say Redskins, but the Washington football team at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. The Eagles are a 6 point favorite, and their over and under is 44.5. On the injury front, it's only one, really. Miles Sanders is out with a hand injury. Now, Jordan Howard was supposed to be out with the neck stinger, but he's playing today.
Because
For
they
the
full of
Wash,
shit.
for the Washington football team, William Jackson III is out with a calf injury. Montez Sweat is out for personal reasons for his brother being killed. So rest in peace to him. Now,
What happened?
his brother was killed in somewhere in Virginia, was shot.
Mm, I didn't hear about that.
So yeah, rest in peace to the brother. We talked about the player scenario last week. Now, if the Eagles win today, they can clinch a playoff spot. If they win today, the Vikings lose. The Vikings lose. Who's playing the Vikings? Is it San? No, 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 no. Who's
I'm
playing
not
the?
sure.
Who's playing the Vikings? Hold on, because I know that Cousins is out with the COVID, so that helps us out a lot.
Now, do that really help us? Because did they beat us the last time without Cousins?
No, you talking about this is Minnesota. You talking about?
Oh,
Oh no, Hinky is Heineken. I don't know how you pronounce his last name. He's playing
Heineke.
today. Yeah. Who the hell? Oh, the Vikings playing the Packers. So the Vikings are without Kirk Cousins for COVID. So you have to have a Vikings lose and the 49ers beat the Texans. So they just have to. Well, hopefully luck will be on their side because you know how these teams will play, especially with Green
It
Bay.
shouldn't be no luck. If everything goes as planned, it should be a wrap because the Packers are still fighting for home field advantage, so they need to win.
Hmm.
And then who was the other team? The 49ers?
Yes.
Isn't the 49ers fighting for a playoff spot too?
Yeah, but you never know. I mean, they
Yeah.
fight for a playoff spot. You're right, but you never know how that game going to go because didn't the Vikings beat the Titans? Didn't the Texans beat the Titans if I'm not mistaken? So
Tag, they pulled off somebody. Yeah, they beat somebody recently, and I was like, what the hell?
right.
It was
So you
somebody they
never
weren't
know.
supposed to beat.
All right. So what's your thoughts on this week's game?
I think we should be able to kick their ass.
Hmm.
Like I would say they don't really got a quarterback. They don't really got a running back. Their running back is okay, whatever his name is. I think he had like 800 or 900 yards on the season. but they don't really have no weapons. I do like Terry how you say his name,
Uh-huh.
McLaurin. I like him. He's a burner. He can catch. He kind of remind me of Deshaun Jackson, but he ain't got nobody that can get him the ball. So if they can't get him the ball, we ain't got to worry about him.
Right.
The defense was supposed to be their strong suit this year, but then they got all banged up and hurt, so you ain't really got to worry about them. We should be able to beat them easily.
Okay. So what's your final score?
It'd be like 10-23.
Okay.
10,
I,
10-24. Give me 24.
all right, so I have the Eagles 4 and Washington 14. We so damn close on these scores too, by the way. As almost every week we do this, we always close on the score,
What
picking
did you
the
say the
score.
score? What did you say?
24 to 14.
Okay.
So you don't real quick, you don't watch Hard Knocks, right? Oh,
I
this
haven't
is
watched it. I
okay.
haven't watched it this season. I'll watch it like at the end.
It's a funny part. Well, I thought it was funny. With our old boy Carson Wentz said that they were doing they were talking. All the teammates was all talking to each other, and Carson Wentz said this is the most unselfish team he's been on, and I bust out laughing. I'm like, unselfish. You was the one that was calling plays. You changed the play every time you went to
Right.
hike the ball.
The most selfish player on the team, and then he didn't even want to fuck with Jalen Hurts when they drafted him. He got all butthurt. Didn't want to
Right.
talk to him. Didn't want to help him out. You know what I mean? Usually, like the veteran quarterback, even if you don't, this guy's might steal your job when you don't like the pick. You still shouldn't hold no grudge against him. He ain't do nothing.
Exactly. And I'm like, you was the main one that was being selfish. And talking about this is the most unselfish team you've been on. Well, you was the main culprit last year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I bust out laughing when he said that. Well, as you already know, he's like him and Frank Wright are buddy, chummy with each other. So he's happy there.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about Bible verses and all that type of thing, all that type of stuff.
He actually had a solid good year for them too.
Yeah. Well, they have a good running game. Well, like I said, I think they're going to the Super Bowl. They play good defense. As long as they can keep running the football, they play good defense. They run the
Because
football, of course.
like you said, Carson went through some dumbass interceptions this year. So let that shit fuck him up again.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, before we go, I want to give some shout outs. I forgot to talk about this last week too. So I want to give a shout out to Mr. Terrence Fields and his podcast, Talk with Seven podcast show. This is a podcast about life, advocate platform where the objective is to help men become stronger mentally. He gave us a shout out on his podcast episode 15. It's my birthday. That's the one I had sent you.
Yeah, I listened to it.
Yeah, so shout out to him. That was decent how he left us that. Well, damn, it was a 7 minute interview and he talked about us half of the interview, half of the podcast. Or the next one, I want to give a shout out to brother Norman Murray and his podcast, Building Bridges, One Act of Love at a Time. His platform was created to build bridges between the world and church. He has sent us a message on our Anchor podcast.
Mhm.
When you go on the app, there's a well, you don't have to have an app. You can use the website, our website, search P&L Judgment. No, is it Phil and Leroy? That's our podcast homepage. Or you could just search our podcast, the Phil and Leroy Judgmental Podcast, and our podcast homepage should come up. There's a message icon there. You can hit that and leave us a message if you can. So here's a message that on our musical episode, the top 5 albums of 2021, I had sent it to him. Sent it like, well, look, I don't know if this is your thing, but check out our episode of the top 5 music 2021. He always listens to our podcast and he sent us this message.
Hey, what's good, man? This is Norm from Building Bridges Podcast. Shout out to you, my brother Leroy. Man, I appreciate you leaving a voicemail. Appreciate your kudos on the episode. Man, I love you guys when you're talking about those them Eagles, man. That's my thing. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, but I'm a diehard Eagle fan. I know that's crazy. But yeah, like you said, I think you hit it right on the head. I don't listen to too much rap music. It's mostly gospel music. But I do appreciate what you guys are doing, man. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I just pray that your New Year is blessed. All right, be safe.
All right, thank you, Mr. Norman Murray. And on our top five albums, what on mine's it was only two rap albums. On one it was Common, so Common is church friendly. And on Jay's, Jay had one rap album, so it's not a whole bunch of rap albums that we had picked. So
Mhm.
I guess you could say it's church friendly, unless you want to skip the rap album that I had picked. At our next shout out, I want to give a shout out to Gabe. So Gabe has a podcast. His podcast is greatly titled Gabe's Podcast. His
Right to the
podcast,
point.
yep, his podcast is based in sports and music, and he left us a message. Here you go.
Phil and Leroy, what's good? This your boy Gabe. I just got your message. I just want to tell you both that I appreciate y'all listening to my podcast. I also listen to y'all podcast, and I love that top five album episode that you and Leroy did, man. That's pretty dope.
Wrong person.
And by the way, my social media Instagram is at onlybme25. I follow back everyone on there, and my Twitter is at onlybme31. I follow back everyone on there. I just want to tell y'all, man, y'all stay safe and a happy New Year's. I'm out.
All right, thank you, Gabe, from Gabe's podcast. And that was Jay and me, not and Leroy. And last but certainly not least, I want to give a shout out to our ladies from the Girl Cave Lounge podcast. Their podcast is Uncensored Girl Talk. Now here's the message she sent us.
Thank you for vibing with the Girl Cave Lounge squad. Thank you for pulling up and linking up with us. We appreciate the love and support. We're showing love all the way from Texas, San Antonio, Texas, that is. We appreciate the love and support. Follow us on all platforms, Spotify, Apple, Anchor. Hey, we aiming for iHeart, Pandora. Yo, just follow me, baby. Follow Phil and Leroy. You guys are so awesome. Thank you for showing love. And have a happy new year, a prosperous new year. Take a shot with me, squad. Take a shot. Cheers.
And when I first listened to this, I said that, oh, she sent this to everybody until she said her name at the end. She has a pretty voice, Lucci. She has a pretty voice. She sounds like she's from New Orleans, but she says she was from Texas. So when you hear this, let us know if you're from New Orleans or not. I'm not sure. Yeah, we appreciate. What was you about to say? Say something.
No.
Yeah, we appreciate all the messages and stuff you send us, and you always send us good podcasts and all that stuff, and I forgetting to shout you out. So for everybody who does that, thank you. We do appreciate it. What else was I about to say? Oh yeah, when it came, this is what I wanted to say before I started doing the shout outs. These are people that I normally talk from on a Facebook
Hmm.
with. Now, if you go on our Facebook page, it ain't really much there. So I do most of the correspondence on groups because there's different podcast groups. There's a black podcast, there's a sports podcast, sports promotions, all those different
Hmm.
type of groups. So I just do my correspondence with on those groups, and these are the people that I've talked to or I sent the podcast to. These are the people I got from them there from the groups. So
Hmm.
I meant to say that before I start playing messages. Well, thank y'all for listening, and we'll be back with you at halftime.
All right. Peace out.
All right, we back. The Eagles, it's halftime. The Eagles are losing 17-16. Here's some quick stats. We have Jalen Hurts 9 for 11, 115 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Rushing, we have Jalen Hurts three rushes for 35 yards, and Scott 6 carries for 15 yards. Receiving, we have Devontae 2 receptions for 42 yards, and Goddard 3 for 37 yards. On the Washington side, we have Heineken 14 for 17, 169 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Rushing, you have Jared Patterson, 8 rushes for 44 yards. Receiving, We have McLaurin, 4 receptions for 37 yards, and Cam Sims, 3 receptions for 36 yards. Again, another shitty first half performance by the Eagles. And
Yep.
like you said, the defense coordinator let Heineke throw the football up and down the field. It's like we have no defense today.
It's like this is like the third or fourth time this year that a backup bum ass quarterback was perfect from the field in a half. Now Heineke was like, I want to say like 13 or 14 right before that, before he started rushing for the clock. You know what I mean? There's
Right.
no way he should have been 10 for 10, and he's a backup quarterback, third string type bull.
Right.
And the problem is we're not putting no pressure on him. We just letting our front four go. Any other team would tee off on a backup quarterback and just send the blitz, send the dogs, all type of schemes. We have none of that.
Exactly. And remember how they said how Jared Goff, when Goff first came in the league, that the coach would give him the play and tell him who to throw it to.
Mm-hmm.
I think they do that with Jalen Hurts also because if you notice him, he never moves his head around. He'll
Nope, he
always
lock in on his targets.
exactly. He'll just go. The only time where he threw it to someone that was on the opposite end of the field when he did that running play. Well, he was scrambling. I'm sorry, and he threw it to Goddard. Goddard was on the opposite side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only time. But every time he hiked the ball back and about to throw it, he just focuses on that side of the field that he's supposed to throw it to. He never looks around.
Mm-hmm. And that's got a lot to do with the coach too, because he's calling real bad plays. Now we're real good at the run, but he's not really running the ball. He's still sitting there bullshitting with these. Why would we bring the cornerback in on a play? We don't need him for
Right.
that.
Exactly.
That was a dumbass play. You know what I mean?
Yes. And like you said, early in the game, you take the points. You don't keep going forward on fourth down.
Yeah, and now we're like 5 for 19 on fourth down, worse in the league. But he keep going for it on fourth down when there's no need.
Right. Right. So we'll be back at halftime. I mean, at the end of the game. I'm sorry. We already have someone that wants to do the show with us. It's playoffs and a balance, and this surely don't look like no damn playoff team.
Well, they did that last week too. Fucked around in the first half and then turned it on in the second. So hopefully we do that again.
Yeah, and you can't keep doing that.
I know.
Well, we'll be back, y'all, at the end of the game.
All right, peace.
Football team. Players.
Football field.
All right, that's the end of the game. The Eagles pulled it off, 20-16. Some quick stats. Jalen Hurts, 7 for 26, 214 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Rushing, we have Scott, 14 carries, 47 yards. He actually had a good game. Jalen Hurts, 7 for 44. Receiving, we have Goddard, 6 receptions for 71 yards, and Devontae, 3 for 54. On the Washington side, we have Heineke, 27 for 36, 247 yards, and that costly interception at the end of the game. We have Patterson, 12 rushes for 57 yards, 1 touchdown. Receiving, we have McLaurin, 7 receptions for 41 yards, and we have Cam Sims, 4 receptions for 48 yards. Yeah, we have a guest. We have from the Washington side, we have Mr. Reggie Coles. How you doing, Mr. Coles?
Doing well, man. How are y'all?
I'm good. All right,
Good.
so how did you think your team did?
It's about as expected. When I think I speak for a good bit of Washington fans is that when you have Heineke as your quarterback, he's a decent backup, and so as the year's going out, you just waiting for the shoe to drop. You wait for him to do something, to float a pass or to make a bad decision or what have you. It just so happens that his bad decision this game came right at the end as we were trying to drive. So it's about as expected. If you talk to some fans kind of split. Some fans want to win, to play out the string. You know, you never want to go in with a loser mentality. Some fans are like, it's pointless. You know, go forward for getting draft position. So in an eerie type of way, kind of an ironic type of way, is the best of both worlds. You get a win, you feel good about it. You get a loss, you better your draft position. So,
So, all right, Phil, how do you think the Eagles played?
I think they did pretty much what they did last week. Crappy the first half, turned it up the second half. You know what I mean? We can't, like you said, we can't keep doing that. We need to come out with that same intensity that we bringing in the second half. We got to bring that in the first half.
Yes. Yes.
The
Go ahead.
the defense saved the day because they were still letting up and letting this guy sit back there and unprotection. You know what I mean? No bliss, no pressure, just sitting back there picking us apart, and we can't have that.
Right, because if you look at his stats, you would think like he had a real good game. I'm talking about Heineke with those 27 catches for 27 attempts. So you would think that he had a good game, but those all were like we were saying was short passes, like they did before. Like pretty much he played like he played on the game on Tuesday. The same thing. Whereas though they let
Yep.
him throw the football for the first half, then the second half they try to actually really play football. The Eagles defense, and like you said, the defense pretty much saved the game. And they also next season they have to work on Jalen with his like how we said he only looks at the direction where he's going to throw it to. He never looks around.
Yeah, you
So
got to do better
go,
scanning the field.
I think it's more on. I think it's more on the offensive coordinator, like you said. I don't think that's him. I really don't think that's him.
Right. I don't think they came. I don't think they came out this year really trying to push the Eagles to go hard and try to win. I think they was doing more see what we can got, test him, see if he can throw the short passes, see if he can throw the deep passes. Like throughout the year, they've been playing until we got on this hot streak where we constantly ran the ball. Before that, we was still trying to test out what Jalen can do instead of just playing to his abilities. You know what I mean?
Right. All right, Mr. Cole. So next week the Redskins. Oh, I keep saying Redskins. I'm sorry. The Washington football team plays the New York Giants. Is that home or away?
that's going to be in New York.
Okay. So how do you think, or do you think they just going to take the loss and get the draft pick, or actually go out and win?
Well, I mean, knowing our coach Ron Rivera he's not built for losing for draft picks. He's built to instill in them having pride and coming out wanting to win and play well. So I think they're going to come out and play hard, and it's going to be hard to gauge because I mean the Giants they just weak as water. They're filthy right now. So I mean you'll come out, you'll probably have some of your first stringers play, some of your second stringers play, get a good look at some guys for next year. But ultimately, I think they're going to come out to play to win. I would expect them to win, and they would have to do something really, really crazy to lose to the Giants next week. So I expect them under Ron Rivera to come out and play hard and play for the win.
Okay, so on your tweet on the 21st, you asked when's the draft.
Oh, yeah.
So who are you looking for in the draft?
So I mean, everybody knows we need quarterback help. So if you look at the quarterback class, it's not as strong as in the past it has been. But you got some guys that got some real talent. The guy that I wanted was the guy that played last night, but he got hurt. The Matt Corral kid from Mississippi. I really like his skill set for the type of offense that offensive coordinator Scott Turner has. He's a running threat. He also has a stronger arm. He's a bigger and better version, I think, of Taylor Heineke. He can push the ball down the field, and he's also he also hurt defenses with his feet. So that's the kid that I want. But he got hurt last night. Nobody knows the extent of his injury. The other kid, the Kenny Pickett kid out of Pitt, I think he's a bigger, stronger kind of pocket passer. I like his arm strength is a lot better than the other guys. But he's a little bit more stand in the pocket perch type quarterback. I don't like the Sam Howell kid from Carolina. Don't like him. The kid from Liberty, he's kind of like a second tier, maybe third, fourth round pick type of kid, and we need somebody a little bit better than that. So hopefully the Corral kid is good. He's not as hurt as it's going to be like serious, and we're in position to pick him. I would really like to see him in our offense.
Uh-huh. So, Philip, next week the Eagles play the Dallas Cowboys. Now, it could be just a throwaway game, or it could be they have to win. Depends on what happens the day. So, how do you think the game is going to go?
I think it's going to be a dogfight. You know, it's a division game. We need it more than Dallas. I mean, Dallas would like to have it, but they don't need it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it'd be maybe a high scoring. Either we both high scoring or they high scoring and just busting our ass. Hopefully it ain't the case though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope that it could be wrapped up tonight, so next week's game could be a throwaway. Yeah, I hope
That's
so.
begging for the easy. You begging for the easy way out.
Yes, of course,
You
because
know,
I don't
we
depend.
we gotta go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't trust the way they play. I don't trust them. I don't trust them to think that they'll be able to win out.
Right, but even still, Dallas is like our biggest rivalry here in Philly because you know a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans here in Philly.
Right.
So they always posting shit, always talking shit. So we want to play them. We don't want to get the easy way out. I mean, it's nice in order to get the easy way out where Dallas don't even got to show up. But it feels better when they come with their team. We bring our team and we bust their ass.
Uh-huh. Okay. Right. So, which team are you rooting for, Mr. Coles? Because Washington ain't in it, so it's gonna have to be
Yeah,
either the Cowboys or Eagles.
I don't have a dog in the fight, but I'll say this: you would probably have to check the mental capacity of a Redskins fan that's rooting for Dallas. My my cousin and I grew up. I'm from the Richmond area, and so we grew up 2 days. He's 2 days younger than me. He was always a Philly fan because he was a big Randall Cunningham fan. So we would go back and forth with each other since we were little kids about Redskins and Eagles. So I'll pull for the Eagles. Because I'm not gonna pull for Dallas. I'll pull for the Eagles for my cousin. Hopefully they could do it. But I mean, and also I think Dallas has a chance to be able to be the number one seed if some things break the right way. And I definitely
Right.
don't want to see them being the number one seed. As much as possible. If you're a Redskins fan, you want Dallas to lose at any given cost. So I'll be an Eagles fan next week.
All right. Thank you. We need your support.
That's what's up. We got yeah, I was about to say the same thing. We can use the love. But let me ask Roger, what do you think about Jalen Hurts? Do you think he's a capable starter, or do you think he can be a star?
I think it depends on how they use him. So I mean, I think that if they can devise an offense, a good read option scheme offense where he's constantly putting stress on the defense with the threat of running, and you got people on the defensive side trying to spy him, trying to scheme up to keep him in the pocket, and then opens up stuff down the field. Once you get some development from some of your other wide receivers, he could be a superstar. Because the Devontae Smith kid, his speed is ridiculous. Like we were playing 8-9 yards off him all game, and especially in the first half. And I'm like, I mean, like somebody check him. But I understand his speed. And then Goddard is a good safety valve for him as a tight end. And if you can get some good compliments to Smith, some guys that can like Rager, I think they got problems catching the ball. The big boy kid, he shows up every now and then. He'll flash. But I mean, everybody now knows. Okay, Philly wants to run the ball, and they got the Sanders kid, the Boston Scott kid. You know they can run the ball well. If you could devise an offense next year and get some people around Jalen Hurts that can catch the ball as a good number 2 and number 3 receiver, he can be a superstar if he's in the right scheme and he has some good weapons around him.
Yeah, the thing about Devontae is they need to give him more targets. He needs to have more targets instead of this 2 and 3 receptions. So he had 3 receptions today. Now, how many targets was it? It had to be 5, maybe. Because I know one was that long bomb he threw that he overthrew it. That's the only target.
Well, he's still Yeah, he's still a rookie, so we can't really count this year yet. You know what I mean? But next year, with him being the number one, that's when you want to see a load up on targets his way. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Now next year.
He's still he.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say he's real close to getting 1,000, and I know he want to get that 1,000 yards on the season. I think he got like 900 or something like that. So they
Yes.
probably gonna like throw him some more balls next week to try to get that for him.
Right now, so next season, are you seeing a overhaul of the wide receivers or the same crop or what?
We can't keep doing it every year using picks like that. I think we got to stick with what we got. Maybe pick bring in another guy because the slot. I don't know who we got in the slot. I think it's Rieger or is it Quez Watkins. But like you said, those guys are sometimey, man. Sometimes they can make the catch, sometimes they can't. You need somebody with sure shot hands. We should have kept Ertz and ran with two tight ends. I don't know why we get rid of him.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
But see, I think well, JJ Whiteside is gone. Uh, maybe
He
Greg.
need to be wasted pick.
Yeah, maybe Greg Ward.
Yeah.
Maybe Greg Ward is gone. I think they'll keep Devontae, of course, and Rieger
And
and
Quez, he's not going nowhere.
Quez. I'm sorry, I
It's only the
forgot about
second year.
Quez.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Quez
That's why I
is
said I said we can bring in that guy. I wouldn't use a first round pick on him. We can bring in a guy and
right,
see what he about.
right. So, Mr. Coles, you're from Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
The only time I've been in Richmond, Virginia is going King's Dominion.
And that's pretty much what it was, especially back in the day. I mean, people know Richmond for Kings Dominion. If you out of the area, you're not gonna get too many people coming to Richmond because DC is right there. Or you just skip over Richmond, go to Virginia Beach. So, but yeah, that's home for me.
Right. Oh, I forgot Busch Gardens also.
Well, that's Williamsburg. So you closer to Hampton and Virginia Beach than you are Richmond if you go into Busch
So, how far is Richmond from Charlotte?
That's a 4-hour trip. That's a 4-hour drive.
Oh, okay. I thought it was closer than that.
Yeah, so it's a 4-hour drive.
How do you like Charlotte? Because that's a place that I always wanted. My family is from North Carolina, but they
Okay.
always at the end towards South Carolina. They more
Yeah,
well.
that's what. Yeah,
You heard of Wilmington, North Carolina, right?
yeah,
Where, yeah,
absolutely. Spend
yeah,
time in Wilmington. We do our job retreats over
yeah. Well, my family is from Bolivia, North Carolina. Wilmington
there.
is like the big city next to
Yeah.
them. So they down all the way at the end towards South Carolina. So I always wanted to go to Charlotte. Philip, you been there, right?
Yeah.
How is it? A
I
question
ain't
for both
been there.
for
I
both of
haven't
us.
been there in a long time. I thought it was nice. I mean, I like South Carolina more because just like everybody was more friendly in South Carolina than it was North Carolina. North Carolina had like North Carolina, I forget what part I was in, but that area, my cousin was living down there. We went to go visit him, and we hung out in the hood. It was kind of nothing different from Philly, really. You know what I mean?
All
Yeah,
right, Mr. Yeah,
Charlotte is nice. Charlotte reminds you because it's growing by leaps and bounds. It reminds you of like a little brother to Atlanta. So folks move here. Charlotte used to be kind of slow until the banking hub got here in the late '90s. Then once the banking hub got here, you had Bank of America, and at the time it was Wachovia before they became Wells. Um, so the banking hub came here, and then everything started to explode. They started, building and developing, and now people are moving to Charlotte. Like people were moving to Atlanta in the like '90s and 2000s. Like Charlotte is like that now. So like our school system is booming because it's bursting at the seams with families moving in. You always see development with apartment complexes and housing developments going in. So Charlotte is really booming, and it's starting to be like the big time city in the South, like Atlanta was a few years ago.
and you have public transportation here, right?
Sure, yeah,
Oh, and how is it? Is it like you can depend on it, or
yeah. So it's growing. And so one of the big things that was really really good for Charlotte was the mayor Anthony Fox. He had a big hand in the Democratic National Convention coming here when Obama was elected. And so one of the things that was kind of his reward was that he was awarded Secretary of Transportation when Obama actually got elected. So a lot of the funds and a lot of the projects that were kind of hanging in the balance, he got pushed through when he became Secretary of Transportation. So you got light rail that is booming now. Light rail wasn't here a while back, and now you have light rail from the northern end of town all the way through downtown, all the way to the southern end of town. Of course, you got the bus system, and they're revamping the airport. So you got public transportation that's really, really good. You got the cable car system, kind of similar to what it is in San Francisco. So you got a lot of options to where you don't have to drive, and a lot of things are centered around working downtown in the financial district. So if you can get young, successful, up and coming families and get them somewhere close to public transportation where they can get to their home to downtown really easily. That's the big appeal to come to Charlotte. And people just really flock to it. So it's really good, and it's leading to the growth.
Okay. So so since Ric Flair is the king of Charlotte, who, who's the prince? LaMelo Ball? Because it's not Cam Newton.
Yeah, no, it's not Cam anymore. They did a good job here trying to play his come. As a matter of fact, he came back when Washington came down. They haven't won since. But I mean, just kind of sentimentally he is. But you would probably have to say the ball kid with basketball. But I mean, Jordan's of course every Ric Flair, but Michael Jordan owning the Hornets. Jordan could do no wrong.
Right. So what's your favorite team? Is it the Wizards or the Hornets?
So I'm not a big Wizards fan at all. I'm 44, so I grew up in the Jordan era. I was kind of more of a Jordan and Scottie Pippen fan. I really didn't have an actual team that I really liked. I just liked a lot of different players in the league. But I'm definitely not a Wizards fan. You can kind of follow the Hornets because you don't have a choice living in Charlotte. You got to follow them. As a matter of fact, my wife got me some real good tickets to the Hornets game when they play the Bucks next week. So you just kind of follow it just to follow the NBA. But I don't really have an NBA team.
They have a good offense, but they like kind of lack on defense.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
and maybe it's me, but they shoot too many threes.
well, that's the league now. That's the problem I have with the entire league. I played college ball down here, and we grew up, playing defense.
Yes.
You don't get layups. Like you don't spread me out and get a chance. If somebody just get to the cup, you just watch them lay the ball in, and you don't just let people. Like dudes don't box out anymore. They just shoot the three, and we're gonna run down the other end, and we're gonna shoot another three to match your three. Like no, you got to play some defense. That's part of the reason why I don't like the league. I'm more partial to college basketball, but yeah, the league is we just gonna shoot threes, and whoever scores 140 points first, that's gonna win. I don't
Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
like that.
So you, Phil, and I are the same age, and Phil and I always say the same thing about the NBA and the step back three. Now a step back three. Now you went to Winthrop University.
Correct.
Okay, now you played college ball. Now can
Yep.
you imagine back then? So you were playing like in the mid '90s.
So I
So
did 95 and finished in 99.
okay, so imagine you get into the court and performing a step back 3-pointer. What would your coach would have done?
And I would be sitting right beside him.
Exactly.
I'd be sitting right beside him.
We always say the same thing. Like a step back three, statistically it's a bad shot, but these guys just continually keep doing it.
Yeah, and it's
Well, I was going to say, what's the name mentioned that the other night, and they got on him a little bit. LeBron James, when he said he more worried about scoring with efficiency and not just jacking the ball up.
Mm-hmm.
And he's right, because they're praising Steph Curry and them right now because they kicking ass, and he's putting up a lot of scoring. But Steph Curry has his worst field goal percentage in years and his worst 3-point percentage. I think he ranked like 41st in the league in 3-point percentage. So his numbers are down, but because they're winning, they're praising him and not even talking about that. But he goes 4 for 15 or 3 for 12, and they don't talk about it. But then that next night when he 5 for 8 or 6 for 7, then they go crazy about it.
Right, exactly. And what about how these big guys never post up, never have their back to the basket, but want to sit and shoot 3-pointers? It's
Well, that's Anthony Davis. This year Anthony Davis shooting 19% this year, and he still jack him up when he get a chance. Like, dude, bang down low, take a mid-range jumper. Why you got to keep shooting threes?
exactly.
And that's what I love about your guy. He'll take a couple of threes, but we know, like back in the day, like when Pat Riley was the coach of the Knicks, and he would put his fist up in the air, like we going down bottom to Ewing. So like Embiid, okay, like when these threes ain't falling, let me get down here. Y'all give me the ball right here, and it ain't better. So I do like that. Like you said, the big guys that like to just shoot the three, are like you're not a you 6'11", like you 7'1". Stop. You're not Dirk Nowitzki. Just stop it. Just get down bottom and let somebody get you the ball in the post, and let's work from there. If you get a double team, now we can swing the ball around. We get a good open shot. But like this whole spread out, and my 7-footer shoot threes, my 6'3" dudes, my 6'6", everybody just shoot a three. I really can't stand that. Like I said, that's what I like about Embiid. Embiid, he'll like to shoot, but at least he knows. Let me get down here in the post a couple of times and let me work the post. So
Well, me and Phil and I always complain about Embiid doing that.
Yeah, I was about to chime in and say that, but I'm like, whatever.
But go ahead, Phil.
Listen, to compare against, like you said, Anthony Davis, like it seemed like he never wanted to get down there. It's, at least Embiid is like, okay, I do it a little bit. He still like to shoot, but at least he know I'll do it a little bit. The rest of these big guys are like, okay, I'm a 3-point shooter now. No, dude, you not. We got enough dudes that can shoot threes.
Right. So, like I said, you, Phil, and I are around the same age. Let me ask you another NBA question. Is Tracy McGrady a Hall of Famer?
Ooh. Oh, we getting serious now. So, from individual impact on the game, I would agree that he is. From accolades and accomplishments, it's arguable that he's not. So, like as an individual and as a guy who could just come out and score and impact the game individualistically, I think yeah, you can make an argument for him being in. But when you start looking at, okay, how that impact and how that individualism and how those stats individually led to like accolades and accomplishments and championships, and he had a couple of deep playoff runs where they put Houston on his back, but it really didn't materialize into like championships or championship appearances. You can argue that you just did a whole bunch of individual stuff and didn't lead to championships. But
exactly.
I think that's
Yep.
you can argue,
Right. So I always say like Tracy McGrady is almost like a big Iverson. Those guys was flashy and light. What were you saying?
I said I was about to say the same thing. I agree.
Right. So they'll light a team up individually and just kill you, like put up crazy numbers. He even led the league in scoring a few years, but when it came to winning, he wasn't really a big winner.
But Allen Iverson took his team to the championship.
He did,
He didn't win.
The league MVP. And so I gotta no disrespect that we actually played Iverson in the state championship when I was at high school, and they didn't take it. They won it. But we was real close. We was up 5 until like 2 minutes left in the game, and then the last 2 minutes. If you ask anybody from my high school team what happened in the last 2 minutes, nobody remembers. 11 points came out of nowhere, and they won by 6. We have no idea, but I respect Iverson. He actually lives in Charlotte. I respect his game. I respect what he did for the league. And the one thing I would say about Iverson that could cement him being in the Hall of Fame is that he changed the league culturally. Like he brought the hip hop era to the NBA, and you can pin that largely not only on him but largely on him. And you had kids now interested in basketball that had braids and the big white T-shirts and the long chains. And like he was he was the big premier person with that. I don't know that you can say the cultural influence that T Mac had on the league. He was just a scorer with a lot of stats. But I was at the same thing, but he had, like I said, the cultural influence that shifted the league.
Well, another thing
Yeah, I don't care about that culture stuff.
No. Hold on, hold on now. Another thing that he's done is look at all these hybrid uh point guards / shooting guards. I don't know what you want to call them, shooting point guards, because they weren't like
Well,
that back in
yeah,
the
I give
day.
you that because the short guy had to be the point guard. He made it so the short guy can be the shooting guard, but it fucks your team up in the long run doing that.
Damn, you cold on your guy. Well, since we all the same age, here's another question I want to ask you. Have any of you seen that Tracy McGrady documentary?
Never even had
No.
one.
Yeah, anything's possible. Showtime. I liked it because I remember all that stuff going on back then, but they kind of danced
Mm.
around. They kind of danced around the issue. It was two issues they danced around at. They danced around at about the him going to high school straight to the NBA, and they danced around when he got that big contract. What was it, like 6 years for $120 million? They
Mm.
they danced around it for the race issue, because when you're black and you do something that you can do but not supposed to do, you get a lot of shit. uh they got on him because he was coming from straight from high school to the NBA. Nobody thought that you can do it, but
Right.
since he had the size, he has the everybody couldn't do that, but he had the size. He had the size and he had the ball handling ability. He can shoot, so he can easily came into the NBA, and he got a lot of shit for that, and he got a lot of shit for that contract. They always give the black I'm gonna say black men shit when they do something that you can do but you're not supposed to do, because we're not supposed to ask for a whole bunch of money, and we're not supposed to go straight to the NBA when there's hockey kids and there's baseball kids go straight from sitting in a high school class to $1 million contract the next week.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
Yeah.
but they never mentioned that, and I'm like wondering, like, are they going to mention this in this documentary? They never brought it up.
Well, and you mentioned about our white counterparts with baseball. They've been doing it for years. And
Yes.
like I know kids in Charlotte who are, asking their parents to borrow $10 for some pizza one week and then going to buy their parents brand new pickup trucks with their new baseball contracts the very next week. And on top of that, you mentioned the cultural piece. Nobody talks about how the white owners, they exploit our brothers in kind of in other countries. They go down to Central and South America and find baseball players, and they exploit them and bring
Right.
them here and lie about their age and
Mm-hmm.
bring them here. And then when things happen, like either with legally or what have you, leave them out to dry. Nobody mentions like how white folks work the system that way. But like you said, when black folks find success to be able to do some of the same things, it's a problem. So I do agree from that standpoint.
Right. Well, speaking of the baseball thing, did you see the real? Do you watch Real Sports?
No, you mean on HBO with Brian?
Yes.
No.
Yes. They did a piece about. I think it was Real Sports. They did a piece about as you mentioned, the South America players and the island players. Cuba and Dominican Republic.
Mm-hmm.
They're I guess they're kind of sort of agents. And well, when they come here, when they get signed here, they really don't have any money when they're into the minor leagues. They don't have money like that.
Mm-hmm.
So these people come together and they're kind of like agents, and you sign these guys you sign these guys for 15% of their future earnings. So it's like a gamble on the people that sign them front, because the guy might not be anything. But then
Mm.
again, the guy might get like a $200 million contract and you get 15% of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, they also doing that also.
So,
Did you see the any of you see the King Richard?
yes.
Now, did you see when
No,
the
I didn't
dude
watch
was signing them to 15% of their future earnings? The
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine how much is that their future for both of them?
And I like the part where he put it on Venus and it was like, Venus, what you want to do? And she was like, nah, I don't want to sign it. And then I was
Right.
like, that's good. That's really, really smart. Good for her. For her saying no to that. Yeah, because especially when you so young, and they showed a little bit of it, but Jennifer Capriati, like
Yeah.
she was hot when she was 15 and she was real, real talented.
Yep.
But she got around some foolishness, and the people that you sign don't keep you out that foolishness. You got agents and handlers and whatnot, but they don't keep you away from drugs and partying and all that. And she flamed out real quick.
Hmm. And I also like the part where he took them out of the junior competition because
Yeah,
he wanted them to be kids, like just practice, go to school, and be a child. I
yeah.
thought, yeah,
I
go
thought
ahead.
that was good. He and the dude that brought them down there, he was so mad. He was
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah,
well, like, what you gonna do? Like, I mean,
yeah.
what you gonna do?
So Phil, it's not really we're not really giving much away about. Well, it's a book, so you pretty much know the story anyway. So he took them out of the junior competition when they was in California, right? So he
Mhm.
got with the guy in Florida. So the guy in Florida bought the family. So oh yeah, that's another thing they did. He was just going to take Venus and Serena to Florida. So the family said, "Oh no, you're gonna have to take all of us, and you're gonna have to give me a job." That's what Richard said. You're gonna have to give me a job. So and a mobile
The
trailer.
mobile
So they
home, yeah,
yeah, so so he could drive to Florida. So the guy was like, "Yeah, all right." So when he get there, then is when he told him like, oh no, they're not doing any type of junior competition. And the guy was like, livid, like what? Like how they not joining competition? He's like, no, I want them to be children, and that's it. And when they ready, they're ready. And he was like, well, what are we supposed to do? He was like, practice. Yeah, it's a good movie, and I don't know when this Oscar stuff is happening, but that should be on the Oscar list. And Will Smith actually played a good role too.
yeah, he did. And like when he told the dude, he was like, not only you gonna give me this mobile home, when I get down there, you better have a house for me. And like he
Yep.
worked this dude, and it was so good because like white agents and owners and general managers, they work black athletes, and they end up taking so much
Well,
from
that,
black athletes and take advantage of them. To see him flip the script, and not so much that he
well,
did flip the script, but like everything was around him not being that educated, but he was
Yeah.
educated and street smart enough to work this white dude into a house, a mobile home,
A
like
job.
free food. The dude just
Yep.
talking himself. He's like, man, come by, you come get these hot dogs and hamburgers anytime you want. Come in. He was like, okay, cool, cool, cool.
Yep.
So like now you lodging my family, you feeding my family, and I'm gonna tell you no, they're not doing junior competition. We just gonna live here and
Yep.
practice and be kids. That white dude was hot as
sound
fire.
like you got him.
Exactly.
He got
Uh-huh.
him good too.
Well,
Yep.
yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I'll probably watch it tonight. It's almost like the thing is we gotta beg for stuff and ask for all of this stuff when if it was somebody else, they would probably just offer it to them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
true,
Yeah.
true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Because the
yeah,
military the same way. I was telling everybody about the military. A lot of times, if you don't know about bonuses and stuff like that, they won't tell you about it. But if you know about it, that's when you can get it, and that's bullshit. Everybody should be offered that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
yeah, I agree.
All right, Mr. Coles, you want to give us your social media?
Right. So I'm on Instagram at WU Alumni 31. WU Alumni 31. I would like to take this opportunity to shout out my godson. My godson is a 13-year-old DJ here in Charlotte. He's probably like the hottest young DJ. He's really, really good. He's only been doing it for a little over a year. His Follow him please at Wildcard the DJ. He actually hooks up with it's a lady up that way, DJ Neat Nice. She does the kids DJ cafe where she shouts out and puts a spotlight on the kid DJs around the country. He hooked up with her when he first started DJing. So he has also a spot on internet radio on Wednesdays, which is Wildcard DJ Wildcard, which is Wildcard Wednesdays on Flavor One Radio. That's Flavor FLAVA, the number one radio.com. So while you giving me a follow, I just jump on Instagram every now and then, just to talk about Redskin stuff. Follow my godson Wildcard the DJ at Wildcard the DJ. Really, really good kid, really, really great DJ. So just want to take that opportunity to shout him out as well.
Okay, thank you. We'll follow him.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
All right, Mr. Cole, thank you, and sorry about your team, but there's always the Eagles.
Well, look, man, I appreciate the invite, man. I love what you guys are doing with the podcast. Thank y'all for inviting me. Good luck to y'all. Y'all in the playoffs, man. All you need is a chance. Once you in it, all you need to do is be in it. Anything can happen. So good luck to y'all the rest of the way. We'll see y'all in the draft, and maybe next year, anytime y'all need a Washington fan, just look me up. Love to come on and talk with y'all.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely,
right, cool.
man. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be safe out here.
You too. You have a good day.
Okay, man.
You too.
All right, peace, brothers.
All right.